Greetings, my fellow knights, and welcome back to Recon by Fire. For today's battle, the Chaos Knights are running Infernal Lance. They are bringing 2 Karnivores, 1 Executioner, 2 Despoilers with double Gatling Cannons, 1 Lancer, and Atrapos, 2x3 Nurglings, and 2 Beast of Nurgles. Drew is in the building today running Tactical Brigade. He's bringing 2 Beast Boss, both leading a 10-man squad of Beast Snagga boys, a Big Mek in Mega Armor leading 10 Flash Gitz, 3 Big Meks with shock attack guns, all 3 leading a 6-man squad of Tank Bustas, 3x5 Stormboyz, 4 trucks, a squad of Kommandos, and a squad of Gretchin. For today's battle, the mission is Linchpin, deployment is Search and Destroy, and we are playing on Terrain Layout 3. Just 1 pre-game action, and the Beast of Nurgle will scout forward towards the center objective. Top of round 1, and the Orks are going first. They will draw Engage on all fronts and recover assets as their secondaries for the turn. Chaos Knights have selected Darkness as their dread ability, making any units that are battle shocked or further away than 18 inches -1 to hit. In the command phase, the pink Beast Snagga boys will attempt to take orders. They failed the leadership check, taking a single mortal and losing a boy, but they will still gain the benefits of stealth and cover. Second squad of Snaggas will also go for sneaky stalking, and they succeed the leadership check. Gretchin on the home objective will successfully farm an additional command point. Start of the movement phase, Snagga boys are going to move forward and stage behind the building. Second squad of Snaggas will move forward, staying within the building and an inch off the wall. Truck is going to move forward and onto the Ork's natural expansion. Flash Gitz will disembark from the truck, reinforcing the objective. Upon disembarking, they will receive orders and also gain the benefits of stealth and cover. Kommandos are going to roll a 6 on the advance, making it across the other side of the Flash Gitz and providing a potential screen. Truck is going to pivot and push forward, but staying behind the buildings. The Tank Bustas squad inside will then disembark, staging to bring down Hellfire next turn, and the Mek will then give orders to the Commando squad for +1 strength. Truck near the home objective will advance, moving forward up the north side of the field, but stay well out of line of sight. That is going to end the turn for the Orks. They will score 2 points for Engage on all fronts and 3 points for Recover assets. Bottom of round 1 for the Chaos Knights, and they will draw Secure No Man's Land and Area Denial as their secondaries for the turn. In the command phase, Knights will begin to Malefic Surge. The Despoiler succeeds. The Atrapos will fail, suffering 3 mortals. Karnivore will succeed its check. Gold Karnivore will fail, suffering 3 mortal wounds for its troubles. The Knight Lancer will succeed. Second Despoiler will fail, and it suffers 2 mortals. Chaos Knights will then spend a command point to sticky their home objective. Start of the movement phase, and the Beast of Nurgle will pop out from the building and onto the center objective to score Area Denial. Nurglings will move forward, remaining an inch off the wall to screen out any potential charges into the Despoiler. The red Karnivore is going to hold on to its empowerment and push 14 inches forward, getting up close and personal to the Flash Gitz. Not ones to appreciate their personal space being invaded, the Flash Gitz are then going to spend a command point to fire Overwatch, absolutely popping off, leaving the Karnivore at just 2 wounds remaining. Mind you, it just recently got bumped up from 12 to 14 wounds. The Executioner will advance, getting a foothold on the Knight's natural expansion and scoring Secure No Man's Land. The Atrapos will jump from one wall to another, getting line of sight on the truck and the Flash Gitz. Second Despoiler is going to Kool-Aid Man through the wall, taking the position the Atrapos just left. It succeeds its leadership check. Gold Karnivore is going to move forward to help screen out the Lancer, but stay far enough away from the Executioner. Start of the shooting phase, and the Atrapos will fire everything into the truck and absolutely disintegrates it. It does not explode. Next up, the Despoiler will empower its weapons for sustained hits and fire into the Kommandos squad. They will pop their distraction grunt in response, giving them a 5-up invul, and they still do have stealth. 36 shots at 622 proves to be too much, and the Kommandos are left as a red mist. Second Despoiler will empower for sustained hits, firing into the Flash Gitz. The 4-up invul does some work, and it only manages to pick up 5 of them. Not wanting to lose the Karnivore on their own turn, Knights are going to leave it in place, and that's going to end their turn, scoring 5 points for secure no man's land and 5 points for area denial. Top of round 2 for the Orks, they will draw behind enemy lines, which they'll cycle away with new orders, drawing Bring It Down and Secure No Man's Land as their secondaries for the turn. During the command phase, the Gretchin will successfully farm an additional command point. Big Mek will regenerate a Flash Gitz, and orders are going out with all the units succeeding. The Snagga boys will get reroll charges, with the Tank Bustas and the Flash Gitz getting stealth. The Orks control 2 objectives and will score 8 points on primary. Start of the movement phase, and the Tank Bustas will disembark from their truck. They'll then proceed to move towards the center of the field to get line of sight on multiple targets. Snagga boys smell blood in the water, and they will move out of the building and into charge range. Truck will then do a wicked J-turn and head up the board. No good charge targets for the other Snagga squad, so they are simply going to stage behind the wall. Tank Busta squad is going to move forward, but make sure they are staying behind the template to avoid being shot next turn. The truck rolls a big advance and will drive in front of the Flash Gitz to offer up a screen. Flash Gitz will remain in place to get +1 to hit. Stormboyz will arrive from deep strike to help the Gretchin screen out the backfield. The final truck will arrive from strategic reserves 9 inches away from the executioner. The Tank Bustas inside will proceed to disembark. The Tank Bustas near the center send their bomb squid into the red Karnivore. It does explode, dealing 3 mortals and picking up the War Dog. Second bomb squid into the executioner, and it scores 2 mortals. Tank Bustas are going to split fire, sending the Big Mek and the pulsar rockets into the executioner and everything else into the Lancer. Lancer will empower for a 6-up Feel No Pain. No wounds are scored on the executioner, and the Lancer will proceed to make all of its saves, surviving the turn unscathed. Snagga boys into the executioner, and they score a wound. Second squad of Tank Bustas will unload on the Beast of Nurgle, and they leave it at just 2 wounds remaining. Flash Gitz are going to split fire, sending half the shots into the Beast of Nurgle, finally picking it up. The rest of the shots will go into the Atrapos. It will pop empowerment for Feel No Pains, and it falls to 23 wounds. It's charge o'clock, and the Snagga boys will make the charge into the executioner and onto the point. Onto the fight phase, and the Snagga boys swing into the executioner. It tries its best, but the war boss absolutely tears it to shreds. Snagga boys will consolidate onto the objective. That is going to end the turn for the Orks. They will score 5 points for Secure No Man's Land and 4 points for Bring It Down. Bottom of round 2 for the Chaos Knights, and they will draw Engage on all fronts and defend Stronghold as their secondaries for the turn. They only control their home objective and will score 3 points on primary. Big Knights are about to summon the Chaos Gods to help smash that like button, so it'd be absolutely phenomenal if you happen to join in. The Atrapos and both Despoilers succeed their Malefic Surges, but the Lancer will fail and suffer 3 mortals. Start of the movement phase, the Lancer is going to let the Karnivore off the leash, and it heads straight towards the Tank Bustas. Knight Lancer is going to follow it out and head straight towards the Snagga boys. Sensing the Waaagh is coming and not wanting to give the Snagga boys extra movement, the Atrapos is feeling saucy and heads towards the center objective. Orks will spend a command point to fire Overwatch with the Flash Gitz, and they manage to knock off 4 wounds. Nurglings are going to reposition to help screen out the backfield. Start of the shooting phase, Knights are going to empower the Despoiler for sustained hits and spend a command point on Warp Vision, allowing it to ignore cover. It's going to open up onto the Tank Bustas across the way and absolutely shreds them to bits. Atrapos fires into the Flash Gitz and picks up 3 of them. The Lancer will send its shock attack into the Snagga boys and scoops up 4 of them. Karnivore will fire indirect into the Gretchin on the Orks' home objective and takes down 3 of them. Second Despoiler is going to empower for sustained hits. It will split fire, sending both Gatling guns into the Flash Gitz and Mek, managing to pick up the entire squad, and the rockets into the Tank Bustas, felling 1 of them. Charge o'clock and the Karnivore makes it into both the Tank Bustas and the truck. Knights are going to spend a command point to tank shock, but only wound 1 of the Tank Busters. Orks will burn a CP to heroically intervene with the Snagga boys to screen out the Lancer getting to the Tank Bustas. The Knight Lancer will charge the Snagga boys, making it in. It will use its free tank shock ability, scoring 4 mortals. Start of the fight phase, and the Lancer will pop empowerment for sustained hits, sending its sweep attack into the Snagga boys, picking up the entire squad, including the boss. Karnivore will empower for lethals and send all of its attacks into the Tank Bustas. It takes down 3 of them and wounds a 4th. Tank Bustas and the truck will swing back into the Karnivore, scoring a single wound. That is going to end the turn for the Chaos Knights. They will score 2 points for engage on all fronts, and defend stronghold is ongoing. Top of round 3, and the Orks are calling the Waaagh. They will draw a tempting target and area denial as their secondaries for the turn. They control 2 objectives and will score 8 points on primary. The tempting target is the northern objective. All squads will succeed their leadership checks for gaining orders and gain the benefit of cover as well as stealth. The Gretchin will successfully farm an additional command point. Start of the movement phase, the Snagga boys near the center objective roll a 5 on the advance and decide to go after the tempting target instead. Tank Bustas that were standing near them will pop around the corner to get eyes on the Atrapos. Orks are going to burn a command point on tactical retreat, allowing the Tank Bustas to fall back, shoot, and charge. Truck is going to pop it in reverse and head back towards the center of the field. Squad of Stormboyz are going to arrive out of deep strike 9 inches away from the Lancer. Final squad of Stormboyz will land in front of the truck. Bomb squid into the Atrapos and it's down to 20. Tank Bustas are going to chuck a grenade at the Atrapos. It will empower for the feel no pain and it suffers 2 mortals. They will proceed to open fire on the Atrapos, and Knights are going to spend a command point to give it a 4-up invul in shooting. They pepper it with rockets, bringing it down to just 5 wounds remaining, and it is now battle shocked. Truck into the Atrapos, no joy. Truck that's in combat into the Karnivore, no joy. A squad of Stormboyz will fire into the Knight Lancer and fail to score a wound. The Tank Bustas will test their luck against the Lancer, but unfortunately it makes all of its saves. Final squad of Stormboyz will fire into the Atrapos, failing to score a wound. Tank Bustas will charge the Atrapos and fail with snake eyes. Stormboyz need a 9 and they fail with a 7. Second squad of Stormboyz also fail the charge. Tank Busters easily make the 3-inch charge into the Lancer, and the Snagga boys are into the Lancer with a solid 10. Start of the fight phase, Orks are going to spend a command point to fight proper the Snagga boys as they swing into the Lancer. In response, Chaos Knights are going to spend a command point for -1 AP in combat, and the Lancer manages to survive at just 10 wounds remaining. Tank Bustas into the Lancer and they deal 3 damage. Ongoing combat, and the Karnivore will strike into the truck, taking it down. It does deadly demise. The Karnivore's up first and it suffers 3 mortals. Snaggas take 1 wound. Lancer is down to just 4 wounds remaining. And finally, the Tank Bustas lose a dude. The Lancer will sweep into the Snagga boys, picking up 4 of them, but not enough to out-OC them, so they will still steal the point. That is going to end the turn for the Orks. They will score 5 points for attempting target and discard area denial. Chaos Knights will score 3 points for successfully defending their stronghold. Bottom of round 3 for the Chaos Knights, they will draw a tempting target and display of might as their secondaries for the turn. Challenger card is Renewed Focus. Lancer will succeed its leadership check, but the Atrapos will fail, becoming battle shocked, and so they will only control their home objective and score 3 points on primary. Tempting target is the northernmost objective. Malefic Surge on the Southern Despoiler, it fails and will suffer 2 mortals. Second Despoiler will also fail its Malefic Surge, suffering a single wound. And that's gonna do it for the surging. Start of the movement phase, and the Nurglings are going after the truck that's still on the point. The Lancer will fall back but remain on the objective. Orks will spend a command point to reactive move, attempting to hide the Beast Snagga boys as best they can. The Gold Karnivore will use its full movement to get all the way around the Tank Bustas and set up a potential charge into the Stormboyz. Tank Bustas will attempt to fire Overwatch, but unfortunately fail to score a single wound. Knight Despoiler is going to move towards the tempting target to improve its line of sight, and the second Despoiler will do the same, pushing forward to get firing lanes down the center of the board. The Beast of Nurgle will arrive out of deep strike 9 inches away from the Gretchin on the Orks' home objective. Start of the shooting phase, the Atrapos will fire into the truck and leave it at just 2 wounds remaining. Despoiler will empower for sustained hits, firing its rockets into the truck, but no joy. 1 Gatling Cannon into the Tank Bustas and scoops him up, leaving only the character. Second Gatling Cannon into the Stormboyz across the field, and they are turned into a red mist. Second Despoiler will empower for sustained hits, again splitting fire and again sending rockets into the truck, and again it survives. 1 Gatling gun will scoop up the remainder of the Beast Snagga boy squad. Second Gatling into the Tank Bustas, and down they go. The wounded Karnivore will make the point blank charge into the Stormboyz. Nurglings will make their charge into the wounded truck. The Beast of Nurgle will actually make the 9-inch charge into the Gretchin. Karnivore takes down the Stormboyz squad and will consolidate back onto the objective. Atrapos swings into the lone mech and it survives at just a single wound. Nurglings will take a nibble at the truck and it survives at a single wound. The truck will clap back, also scoring a single wound. Big Mek will swing into the Atrapos, but no joy. The Beast of Nurgle and the Gretchin will slap fight each other, dealing no damage. That is going to end the turn for the Chaos Knights. They will score 5 points for a tempting target, 4 points for display of might, and 3 points for renewed focus. Top of round 4 for the Orks, they will draw no prisoners and cleanse as their secondaries for the turn. They will use insane bravery on the truck to control 2 objectives and score 8 points on primary. Gretchin will successfully farm a second command point. The truck will heal back up to 2 wounds. At the start of the movement phase, the healthy truck will pivot and move on to the center objective. Stormboyz are going to prepare to charge the Beast of Nurgle. Big Mek will tactically retreat from the Atrapos. Start of the shooting phase, and the Big Mek will fire into the Atrapos, almost taking it down, but unfortunately rolls a 2 on the damage, and the Atrapos will survive. Stormboyz will make their charge into the Beast of Nurgle. Stormboyz give it their best shot, chopping into the Beast of Nurgle, but fail to take it down. This means it will heal back up to full at the end of the phase. Nurglings swing into the truck, taking it back down to just 1. On the crackback, the truck manages to take down a demon. That will end the turn for the Orks. Because the Nurglings have 0 OC, they will score 5 points on cleanse and discard no prisoners. Bottom of round 4 for the Chaos Knights, they will draw Established Locus and Overwhelming Force as their secondaries for the turn. The Atrapos will burn a command point on Insane Bravery, giving them control of 3 objectives and scoring 13 points on primary. Start of the movement phase, the Nurglings are going to fall back from the truck but remain on the objective. The Knight Lancer will zero in on the truck on the center objective and succeed its leadership check. Despoiler will move into the building and get line of sight on both the Big Mek and the truck. Start of the shooting phase, and the Knight Atrapos will pick up the truck. Despoiler into the Big Mek, and down it goes. Lancer will charge the truck, and yeah, it's gone. That's going to end the turn for the Chaos Knights. They will score 2 points for establishing Locus with the Atrapos, and 5 points for Overwhelming Force. Well, friends, the Orks are going to throw in the towel here, making the final score with paint 58-60 in favor of the Chaos Knights. Thank you, Drew, for coming out and playing, and a special thanks to you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider dropping a like and subbing. And if you'd like to support us further, you can become a channel member, getting to see videos a day early and having your name added to the credits. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and until next time, my friends, happy gaming.